Top buyers ask this question and losers don't even bother to ask any of these questions at all. In this video, we'll tell you the questions that top buyers ask that enable them to make the best buying decisions and make the best of investments. Number one question they ask is, does this meet my need? Now, most investors and the best of buyers, before they buy, they do what's called the need analysis. Why exactly do I want to buy? Am I buying to live in? Am I buying for someone? Am I buying for investment? So I often like to say that there's a difference between a buyer and an investor. And a buyer can buy for any reason, buy to keep, can even buy with investment in mind, can buy to gift, can buy for any reason. But an investor strictly is acquiring for investment purposes. For investment purposes, by that I mean to make returns. If you realize the word invest and harvest have the same end, invest. That is because every investor has harvesting in mind. They are putting in to get back after a period of time. Investors always think returns. A buyer may not think return. They may think of lifestyle, may think of comfort, consider their ego and all other things. But investors always think, what am I getting in return over a given period of time? So first thing is, why am I buying? What is the need this property is solving for me? When you sit with yourself and ask yourself this question, okay, am I buying to build or it's for investment? That would enable you know the best of locations to buy, the type of property to buy. I've said the story a lot of times. One time a client reached out to buy and wanted to buy a house that was close to, it was close to 550 million naira, somewhere in Karsana. He wanted to buy, he's in the UK, he wanted to buy to just keep. Meanwhile, he already has a house right here in Abuja. He thought it as a good investment to do, That's what he thought. He wanted to buy to invest. But after calling, we went through his need and realized he really wanted to grow his money. So buying that house and allowing it to just lie fallow, because it was a fully finished house, to just stay there, he won't make much returns over time. So he ended up, after that conversation, analyzing his need again, and we brought out capital gain properties that he can invest in and get good returns after a point of time. So top buyers always ask themselves, why am I buying? Why do I need this property? Does it meet my needs? Any of these questions verify or clarify one and the same thing, the need for which you're buying. Okay. Number two question that they ask is, what title does this property come with? So the title of a property actually secures a property, especially in a place like Abuja. It's important that you consider the title. In some other parts of Nigeria, people can say, okay, the title doesn't matter, we will perfect the title, like they call it title perfection. But in a place like Abuja, it's important that you ask yourself, what title does this property come with? In Abuja, there are the major titles you would hear is the FCDA RFO, the FCDA CFO, and mass housing or letter of intent, right? These three are good titles that a property comes with that show that it's actually recognized by the FCDA and is safe for you to buy. The next question is, what title does it come with? So when you ask yourself this question after you've verified your needs, so whether you're buying to invest for long-term capital gain, it doesn't mean you should buy a place that doesn't have a good title. Whether you're buying the place to live in, it should also have a good title. And this is a good place to mention that, yes, though you're working with a professional that is helping you get this, it is said that due diligence is a work of both parties. And we'll come to that further down in this discussion. As the due diligence is being done for you by your realtor or the company you're working with, it's also important that you personally engage in the process. Don't leave everything entirely to who you're working with, except, of course, there's palpable track record. Okay? The next thing to ask yourself is, what's the plan for this estate? Top buyers ask this question because when you're buying from an estate that doesn't have good plan, it's going to affect the returns and the liquidity ratio of that property. What I'm simply saying is when you buy from an estate that doesn't have a plan, there are factors that bring about appreciation. One of the factors is secondary infrastructure development, which is that one that the estate developers do themselves. The developer cannot control the government, cannot force government to do certain things, but the developer has the ability to do certain things. And when you buy from a place that the developer does not have a plan for it, over time, you won't experience so much appreciation on the property. Why is that so? Because there was no plan. So ask, and as you're asking, what is the plan for the estate? Find out what the track record of that company has been. Are they beautiful planners and terrible executioners? People can have amazing plans but do not know how to execute it. So it's important that you check this company. Their plans are good. In times past, have they executed on plans that they had, or they just had beautiful plans on paper but never made it to the market or never made it out there? It's important that you ask, what plan does it come with? And if the plans are good, ticks off for you for the purpose you're buying, investment or whatever, then you go ahead and purchase. 2, the next question you ask is, who is the person selling? Right? And this is the thing I told you we're going to talk about. So in doing your due diligence, even while the person is, doing due diligence, so it's also important that you find out the track record of the person selling. Now, by the person selling, there are 2 people I want you to look into, depending on how you're transacting. If you're transacting directly with a developer, that means the person selling to you, the who there is the developer. So you have to look at the track record of the developer, their pedigree, their integrity. What have they been like? What's their online footprint? What have they done in time? Things like that. This would help you know the level of security that you're buying when you're buying from that developer. Number 1 person I said who is selling to you is the developer. 2, if you're working with a middleman, a realtor, a broker, who is the broker selling? Do they have track record of starting deals, and once deals are closed, they zoom off? There's no post-sale relationship. Such people are not really nice to deal with, because if anything goes our way after a sale, you are on your own. Find out the track record. What are they like? Are they in the journey with you, for you, or just for their pockets? It's important you find out things like that, because, oh yes, it happens. People literally vanish after sales. So you have to actually find out who the person selling is. And finally, top buyers ask this question: what exactly am I paying for? And no, the answer is not just a plot of land or a property standing. When you're paying for a plot of land in Abuja from an estate, you're not just paying for the land. You have to find out if there are any other payments you make. For instance, the infrastructural and development fee. You need to find out how much it is, if you'll be able to pay the cost as well, how you're going to pay it, when you're going to pay it, and all of that, so that in time to come, you will be able, you won't feel cheated, you won't feel like, oh, they didn't tell me this and all of that. You need to make sure that you find out this as well. Now, these are the questions that top buyers ask when they want to purchase or invest in real estate. And we want to make sure that you also, at the end of the day, turn out to be a top buyer. Whenever you want to buy, you can always come back to this video and check to see, okay, have I asked these questions and all of that, so that you make the best buying decision. Till I come your way the next time, the goal of videos like this is to make sure that you end up with the right property, with the right realtor and the right company as well. And if you're looking for a realtor to work with, that's why I'm here. You can reach me on the phone number in the description, and we'll get you on your journey to acquiring the best of real estate in the city of Abuja. Until then, see you in the next one. Sort of a pre-recorded live.